It was disappointing to see earlier this week the Prime Minister rule out an emissions intensity scheme as being part of the work that could occur. We believe that we should be basing our decisions in this area on the basis of evidence. And indeed, the Prime Minister himself, before he ascended to this role, said these words: "Mature evidence-based policy communicated to voters through sophisticated explanation rather than infantile slogans would be the mark of his leadership." And that's simply all we're asking for here.
Restoring a carbon tax or an emissions trading scheme is not part of our policy. We want to ensure that energy is secure, reliable and as affordable as possible for Australian households.
We're not proposing a carbon tax, and it's mischievous to suggest that we are. It's also even mischievous to suggest that we're proposing an emissions trading scheme, because that wasn't the proposition that was put here. It was an emissions intensity scheme, a different thing, easy to misrepresent if you want to. Of course, that the whole point of Dr. Finkel's recommendation is that this puts downward pressure on electricity prices, so this gives you lower electricity prices.
An emissions intensity scheme involves imposing a cost, a tax if you like, on coal-fired generators, for example, and transferring that to subsidise lower emission generators, whether they're renewables or gas, for example. So it has exactly the same purpose as a carbon tax or as an emissions. And it is a form of emissions trading scheme. It is an additional cost on the electricity system.